shit.
Yo, what up, world? It's your boy Blue, Battle of the Beatmakers 2020 Move the Crowd edition, and we back. It's episode 7. Once again, it's got some more room for the top 32 producers, people to come out and wild out, meet us in Toronto at the Opera House, March 21st. Tickets go on sale next week, battleofbeatmakers.com. Link up in the comments and chats. Producers, collab, that's how you grow. New sounds, new looks, new processes. This is what it's all about at Sound Supremacy, Battle of Beatmakers. But let's get right to it. Kiefer. So, first up, got Kiefer, Toronto, Canada.
How many people watch 16 and Pregnant? Kiefer. Kiefer. Yeah, I said it. I like that, Kiefer.
Chief
Good job.
Kiefer.
I see you at the battle.
The mix was dope.
Yep.
It slapped.
Good quality.
Good job.
Good quality for sure. I do feel it was a little safe though.
No,
no, that's our safe word. Our safe word is
it's
safe, but
enough.
that's
It's safe enough to get me interested enough to see what else he had.
felt complacent.
Yeah.
I didn't have to guess where his mix was or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Right in there.
All right, produced by Jam outside of Pickering. Bring that nuclear heat.
Okay. All right.
What's going on with the East, bro? Like the East.
They fucking Virginia over there, man. I want to hear more for this from this.
Heavy.
I'm telling you
Like,
right
I
now,
love-
after we done here, I'm gonna go listen to his second beat, yo, and see where. Like, I'm curious to see how he does in his competition, man.
Can't go wrong with that reggae shit.
Very dope, though.
That shit was the right.
Yeah,
right,
for
Nice
right
flip.
line.
And the mix was dope too.
Nice flip.
Everything was like there. Like the dynamics was there, and the choice of that sample, everything. Yeah.
For the international people, this is kind of very important. You have to understand your audience. Like I've done beat battles in Canada, New York. I could play the same beat in Canada and get a huge rail up, and in New York they're like, "Nyeh." Because in Canada, if I'm playing a reggae thing and like it has a reggae sample and people are familiar with it and they can appreciate the flip, then boom. But for the international people, if you're coming here, there's just one thing to just keep in the back of your mind, that if you're flipping a dope reggae sample and you're doing it properly, then boom. Yeah. But at the same time, if you try to flip a reggae sample and it's flop, you gotta get yam up. Right.
Yeah, you don't wanna have the equivalent to like a Luke Cage episode, second season. You know what I'm saying?
It's the world beat battle.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta make sure Bushmaster. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like
yeah.
So when you pick a certain sample, like you gotta really like some like even for me, for example, like when I'll use certain samples, I literally like get into DNA mode where it's like, all right, I gotta know where to turn on this one. Maybe I should use this drum pad or nah, I shouldn't use it. Like it's a thing because you know if you don't do it right, someone's gonna go after your ass, and then from them it's gonna be a group of people.
Yeah.
So it's like when it comes to certain samples, you gotta know, like, all right, you're gonna like, especially with these beat battles and everything. No, you gotta fuck shit up because even with that one, who was that producer that did the House of Pain shit?
Or something like that.
Yeah, that producer, big up that producer. They really took that sample and did their thing with it in regards to contemporizing it into what's going on today. Yeah. Like I can't lie, I did the flip. I know I did it justice. I gotta be confident with that shit.
No,
but with
you
that
bodied
dude,
that.
you know what I'm saying? With that, you know, so funny. Fun fact. Before we get into the other producers, even with that beat in particular and that sample, even when I did that, I submitted it to an A&R at, I'm not gonna say what label or whatever, but they said it was doing too much. But then when I gave it to these mans there, they did everything else. And then it did what it did, and it was a great record. So sometimes you don't have to listen to certain A&Rs because some of them don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So even with, like I said, when we were listening to that one, it kind of made me think about that. So yeah, I definitely say for all y'all producers, take a chance with it, but no, do it justice. Trust me, you'll feel better, and you'll see the rewards out of it. Next one.
All right, new sound beats out of Detroit. The D.
Bust it on the beat, ho.
White G, where White G at?
Buzz it on the beat.
I was expecting some of those new sounds actually,
hit,
just
though.
to, you know what I mean, attribute that to your name, bro. Like I was expecting some of that.
Like I said, there's the head nodders and then there's the wave riders. That's how I'm able to differentiate the crowd.
What's up, Mayor?
You know what I'm saying? As long, if you could feed one of those sides on a level, then you'll be fine. That one is it would be a stronger track.
Yeah, 100%.
But it would work in the battle because
But that's what I'm saying.
Have people
The
moving.
wave riders are gonna have to go and show up for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a no disrespect to that crowd. It's kind of fickle because of the level. Remember, they more vibe off of real. It has to be really melodic for you to see a real reaction. So, but with this, it make a stronger track. But I think it would get some attention.
Couple more transitions in there though. I think would have brought it. You know what I'm saying? Gave it more life.
It was a familiar sound, but it sounded proper.
Yeah, proper
basically,
familiar.
yeah.
100.
What's going on, Mayor?
All right, Audio Gibbs out of T-Dot.
Started with that.
This sounds familiar. Like, there's a, this is, I was familiar. What does it sound like?
I know. I can't put my finger on it.
I don't know.
They probably use a loop.
You mean it sounds familiar? Like you heard it before, or like you
Like, I guess,
heard it out there before?
yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, similarity in a melody. But, sounds like somebody that's, like, you know, fresh and making beats, but they're cool putting stuff together.
More originality to it. Bring it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just keep working on your craft, bro. That's it.
Umair Ali from Dallas.
think that distortion was on our end.
Yeah, but it had some good
But
stuff in
that's-
there.
there's some
You had
stuff
to,
in
I
there,
had to
though.
overhear that in order to get it, but it did have some. That switch up was kind of nice.
Yeah, that beat was
Yeah.
dope.
That was the second joint, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I like that
dope,
the
man.
switch ups
Dope.
that
Didn't
definitely
take-
brought us on a journey. It had some heaviness and some surprises that didn't throw us off, but
Hopefully, we get a
kept us
better
in
file
tune.
in the next time. Yeah.
I think the distortion was on our end.
But yeah, it got the point across,
Yeah.
like, even with the elements and
Yeah. All right, Skeezy from Quebec.
Skeezer. Ooh, drums. Woo. Where's the jizz at?
They're the first one.
like with that. What I hear is that I
Jizza.
see what they were trying to do.
Wu-Tang.
I would say use, well, sound selection.
Yeah.
Drum wise too, because if like I hear what they were trying to do, it was
I
just
like
that
the
this,
drums on that one.
no,
though.
I like what they were doing with those drums, but if they were able to like say add a little bit more like make them a little wet, add a little, you know what I'm saying, make them more live, or even exactly layer them so they could be more thicker, and yeah, like there's just more of a sound replacement thing, and I think that would add the character that I think they were trying to aim for.
Wu-Tang.
But I hear what they were doing, and like you said, Wu-Tang. But in regards to keeping a crowd engaged, even sound selection is part of that too, because they don't know much. No disrespect to them, they don't know much but what they want. So end of the day, it's like when you have dope beats like this, or I can hear where this producer was trying to go with it.
Yeah.
But definitely sound.
I feel like they're trying to go for a timeless feel. And
Yeah.
that's why the sound selection is
Sounds
very
like very
important. 'Cause
important.
it just sounds dated. It sounds like sound packs that we had
Absolutely.
way back.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I would even
Like,
try
now,
rearranging that with different drums, man.
Yeah.
You know?
For
Exactly.
me, I was feeling the drums because it brought me there. It brought me to a Jizza track.
But I
Right.
feel you would have been more impressed
Mm.
if they used the right drums,
Like
added
sonically,
the
if it
right
sounded-
elements to
Yeah,
the drums they
would've
had. I feel it would more
slapped a bit
impress you.
more.
Yeah.
All right, I said Beats out of France once again.
Let's go.
This beat is so nice.
Well,
Mr. DJ K.
Okay, I'll say some shit.
Okay.
It didn't suck.
You know what's new? You know what's scary about this situation is that this kind of record can be a smash, but just hearing it in its entirety, it's very tricky.
Yo, I'll be straight up. It was boring.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Boring beat.
I know that like it's not my cup of tea, but it's still a job for a person like myself to be able to understand where that direction or that vibe will go. But even with listening to it, it was like, all right, one, it's safe. but it's not safe enough. I don't. Yeah, not for this.
I want to at least explain why I'm saying it's boring. It was just a loop. That's it. Like,
but that sound is of a generation of now. It's for when that's done like that. It's for the artists to do their thing with that now, right? So how hip hop artists are now is for the rapper. If he gets on a beat that simple, he's supposed to make it do all the movements.
Not gonna fly in a beat battle.
No, not a beat battle. For as a record though, that's simple enough for a writer for somebody that really has enough character to stand out, for them to really shine.
the artists that have to make
on that.
the record.
Whatever pattern you put on that, that's really all about you. Not even just the beat. It's what you do, what you're doing with that. But yeah,
Some whimsical sounds.
not beat battle, no. Let's keep it moving. Beat
All right,
battle.
Mr. DJ K out of Toronto, Canada.
More of this. Let's go. Right. Don't be shy with that bass. All right, here we go. J. Cole, damn it. This is a look. Part of what we do here, besides showing the producers whether it can work or not, one of the key things that I don't see a lot of producers or a lot of other beat battles that do is show them where it can still go. That shit.
You know what I'd love to hear?
That's Mary. That's Mary and J. Cole as a feature. That's what that is. And the A&R don't see that.
Yeah.
Get the
if
fuck
the
out of
vocals
here.
ain't got the soul to carry that feeling out.
That's
gonna
a
lose.
J. That's a J. Cole. And
Hey, yo, my man ain't waste no time, yo.
Off
That's
the top, the
straight
drums,
off the
yeah.
gates.
Off the top, the
It
drums
hit
had
you.
me, yeah.
Out the
Yeah,
gate.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
off top.
I rock with it.
OT.
Dope.
Crazy. All right. Trap Star out of Massachusetts.
Some of the key things that I think I'm gonna say it. What producers also have to do, well, not have to, but will also be key to play around like your friends or people that you're kind of cool with. Like, see what the reaction is and pay attention to the reaction and pay attention to when they're bobbing their head and when it starts to when their head bobbing starts to kind of like something's up. You know what I'm saying? So like if you like, I know I can already see something like this where it's like they'll play it and then you'll get the head bob and then slow head bob. That's when you know something's up.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
In all those
There's a
pockets.
slow head bop where it's like, oh, what's this? And then there's, oh, okay, I'll figure this out.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in that place where you can see them trying to figure it out. That's not a cool thing. I know a lot of producers are like, you got to figure it out. All right.
So you're saying you got lost.
I got lost.
Yeah,
So
I did
therefore,
too.
with like, when playing, like when making, when choosing for these kind of battles, it does help because of the criteria of the battle to play it to people, play it to friends, whoever, and just study their head bob, study their reaction to it, and if you know something's off the sync, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be somewhere you'll get their attention and they stop, but you can feel it. So with this, to tie it into this, I was trying to get into it to see how it can work in this criteria, but it just seems like you need to add, sound selection and the momentum wasn't really glued together.
What did gigs call that? The head nod test?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's the definition of
yeah.
it right there, bro.
All right,
Right
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
All right, Days Perceptions out of Bronx.
Stand clear of the 808s, please.
I like that.
I appreciate those producers that, take the approach of even utilizing the use of vocal samples to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, stand clear of the 808s. Like,
But
this is
make
a
sure,
performance. Yeah, exactly.
Make
Like,
sure that
works.
that tag, exactly. Make sure it complements what you're about to bring. So
that approach is it's dope. It's the right one, and especially in this format, it's the right one.
But my question, Tono, my question to you is, did it live up to the tag?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
That was my other point. I was like, no, it didn't do it. But I appreciate the fact he put it in there because I'm like, that's the performance element of this competition. Like, you actually you're going to war with your competitor, man. Like, put them little tags in there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look up Sound Clash, any Jamaican Sound Clash, right? Where these guys go at each other with dub plates.
That is actually what Tono's even saying. To add on to that, that is actually really key. Remember, we're in a world of information, so if you guys can go and Google Sound Clashes and study that shit, that's natural reaction. That's gutter reaction. That's not it's popping right now. No, like how these guys do it. If you guys can incorporate it into this kind of beat battle, trust me. So I think that's an actual gem that Tono just said, But I'm adding on to it by saying study those to see the reactions and how you want to move in these kind of beat battles.
The only thing I'll say is if it could sound better, maybe you get a better reaction then. Because there was a lot going on in that beat. There's a lot of changes, It showed some skill. But the mix to me just it took away from the energy of the music. It didn't hit me the way it should have. But I feel like there's potential if it could get mixed better.
That sample was dope, though. I was fucking with that, yo. Like,
I feel like there's potential there too. I think that producer has other gems in their bag that can definitely pull their weight in a beat battle.
Yeah, because but big up on that tag too, because I have one similar that I don't use enough, where it's like has that old Alfred like. I think we might have to wheel this one back. I have that, you know what I'm saying? I haven't let it off on the world yet.
Shit,
I'm saying the mixtape gonna drop, the beat tape gonna drop soon. You're gonna hear it, but I have a lot of that. So when I heard that, I'm like, this guy, the tag is dope, but you gotta compliment the tag. The beat gotta compliment the tag, and vice versa.
All right, Warren Williams out of Toronto.
You don't even want to know who that is. I'll tell you.
She-Rock.
Like this.
She-Rock,
That like Bollywood I feel like that Bollywood billionaire say Shiro. You're right. That's not there for some other shit.
Yeah, that's that She-Ra. That was a crazy flip on that, too.
I didn't even.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That brings me back to the Boy Wonder Transformer beat. Yeah.
Okay, yo, let me tell you who that is. You guys want to know who that is?
Who's that?
That is Maestro Fresh West's baby bro.
Really?
Yeah, Mel Boogie's baby bro.
Stro, y'all start explaining to them.
Yeah, Warren Williams. That
Oh,
is
man,
Maestro's
that's some-
that was a
family.
wild flip.
That's the bro.
Some Williams lineage here. Yeah. Tough. Yo, that flip was crazy, man. Like, I didn't even realize
Toronto
it was.
lineage rolls deep. You know what I'm saying?
Legend bloodline. And a legend bloodline.
Yeah, we born talented. It is what it is.
All right, Scales out of Toronto as well. See if you can keep it up.
That beat gave me that like nostalgia feeling, and now that I look and I can see the region where he's from actually from the city, I would say, yo, Beat Factory would have loved your shit.
He must have been born before the 2000s.
That's what I'm to see who I can see that on.
That's a Wu-Tang. Ding, 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 ding.
Sample wise,
Early
but
90s.
beat
Nostalgia-wise, yeah.
wise, it sounds like honestly the closest thing I would say in regards to that working into what's going on right now was like a Run the Jewels type shit.
Give me Old Dirty.
Saying,
Bring Old
yeah.
Dirty back on that. Old
Like I
Dirty
could
was-
see what's his name there, not Killer Mike, but the next two there making that record, making that beat, and then showing the Killer Mike the video. You know how Killer Mike goes out. Once you show him Wild Pop, like you see what he did on Palm Olive. It was simple and it made sense. That's all he needed to do on Palm Olive. So it's like it's one of those records where it's like it could work for that department, which is still a good department because those guys are festival rappers. So that lane is still a viable lane to put that in for a beat battle. No, but for that lane, you got something going for you, and congratulations.
And the drums were nice on that too.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll let you know about that. Congratulations in the future. You're gonna once you get that right artist that can complement that kind of record. You already have like the Run the Jewels and those kind of guys that are already like carrying the torch for that vibe. So you have a lane. Other than that, for the beat battle, yeah.
All right, Molly got the beat. Fire beats. Get that right. Molly got the fire beats. Louisiana.
Okay, yeah. So what we were talking about, with this one there, it's the potential is there For the beat battle, not quite, but
movement's
on the
actually
good
there
part,
for
on
beat battle.
but on overall, you know, because remember, I'm always looking at it where it's like if I can instantly think of another beat that I know the vibe that can kill that, then it's like, all right, here's what you need to do.
The structure.
And even if it
everything.
doesn't work for this beat battle, here's what could be done. So now, even with this record, like we were talking, like this could be a dope track record.
That's lacking.
Yeah, put some like more effort into or more try to build more on the structure of it, and it could be a dope track. And like even there's like a part where I feel you could take out the kick and just have that snare or clap going for the verse parts. Like just structure wise, there's potential in that record, but for the beat battle, it might lose the crowd.
I think
No, I think it for me. Sorry, like this is why this is good, but. If someone is lacking right with that beat, and I drop this after your lacking ass with your over melodies, and I just drop this vibe, the crowd definitely. I can see the crowd.
But they gotta aim
and,
for that scenario. I'm saying
But
for
that's
what they
what I'm
have
saying.
structure wise,
It's something to have in the
like
pocket.
the attention span,
Yo.
folks are gonna be on some.
Does
okay,
that
yeah.
beat 225 other people?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's yet to be
Okay,
determined.
well there you go.
All right,
You know
Campbell
what? No.
Slice. Campbell Slice out of Oakville.
Cambo, he's been on my life.
Yo, this is coming from the most random person on earth. That shit was a little bit too random for my liking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's too much. Like
It was
All the sounds
yeah.
that you like, that hear that you like the sounds, but it's your arrangement, your timing, where you dropped what, pianos, all that. That's cool, I get it, but your arrangement is where you need to focus on the most to catch your win in that.
100%.
So you need to discipline yourself with how you want to use the sounds. Everything was just dropped there, and I get it. But you're gonna have to, as far as a producer that's growing and learning, you're gonna have to play around with that, with your arrangement, with what works the best for that. You like I said, you got the sounds, but it's the arrangement.
yeah,
game
I
for me
definitely,
personally.
I like the sounds definitely, but it's just again arrangement.
Yeah,
Pretty
like
much
it
nailed
really,
it on
like,
the head, man.
I know I built on it earlier, but like that's one of those ones where I would classify it under the, hey, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Because the structure kind of got ignored because that the producer wanted to show what they can do, which is fine, but you still got to keep in mind, like, yeah, you got to have like some structure. So
It's a
like
little
think
too
of
busy.
like, yeah, whatever you expect to change, when it's supposed to change, add it. Because even me as a producer, I still learn that, like, okay, yeah, we're I feel it's supposed to change, that's where I'm supposed to change it. So definitely with that, like, just focus on your structure and you'll be straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
International.
International Mac out of New York.
Yeah.
I know what that sample is.
It's a good interpretation of NFL Sunday, man.
It was a nice flip.
Heard a lot of people flip that, but like it's not like that. So
Yeah,
that's
that was
very
a nice,
unique, man.
unique-
Nice approach.
yeah.
But you
Like the
missed
approach.
you missed the bottom end part.
Yeah.
There was space for you to add either an 808 or like a
Crazy
sub
things, yeah.
and really get people in, because that's one of the things that gets people into the groove.
Maybe he
of what
had
you're
it there,
doing.
but the arrangement for the time for it to come in for us, he didn't have the timing for it for us to even hear that.
And timing is superbly. I'm not sure
Bring the
if you're
bass
getting
in
the
earlier.
point, but we kind of stressed it enough in many different ways that timing is superbly key into this realm of what we're judging the music on, and what the crowd's gonna be judging music on. Like the timing syncing with, like, I can't figure out a better way to say it, but just syncing with the human syncopology. Like when that kick, when that hook is supposed to come in, you feel it. When that break is supposed to come in, you feel it. Like
You know
it's
what it is?
weird and wavy as it sounds. You really got to
Anticipation.
pay attention to that and abide by that and know when to switch it up, which is a very technical side of just moving the crowd, which makes this actual battle very, very dope and interesting. So pay attention to that.
One thing I'll say is there's been times where I've seen battles and it's in the finals. And it's in the finals, and the crowd is just on their toes. They're just waiting for that switch up at like 8 bars. And because that switch up doesn't come, sometimes that's the difference between winning Battle of the Beatmakers and coming second. So just keep that in place. Like I seen it with my own eyes. I'm like, a switch up has got to come here. It's built up. And then, oh, I don't know if they got it anymore.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's key from gigs too, because
Yeah.
over the years, like real talk, like he's a performer on stage. Besides just press and play on his beats, he'll let you know where to go, and that's also key for a lot of you guys out there that want to break out of the box. Because a lot of producers are just like comedians, man. Y'all are like depressed in your own space. No, I'm not even trying to be like, I know what it is. So if you can find cheat codes to get in the element. And if I can find cheat codes to get you in that element as well as my damn self, I'm going to say it. So definitely when it comes to the records that you guys are doing and you want to keep people entertained, just know you're going to have to go into a place that you're not familiar with. And you're going to have to entertain people with short attention spans. Even though you know the elements, you know, oh, this means this, that, whatever. Fuck all that. You got to cater to people with short attention spans.
Become a mood master.
So definitely, pay it. Like I would say, key to. I think we did in the last beat battle before too. Go to watch gigs. See how he reacts to his beats. See how he's feeling himself, because that's what you need to do as well, is just show people you make amazing music. Show them that you're really feeling yourself, and you should feel me too.
Yeah.
Pretty much that.
Some guys go up there like, and then you could look it on their face and say like, this guy's like, yo, I don't even like my beat.
I'm
I
not
don't
even
know
gonna
you
say any
guys."
names, but there's a lot. I'm not even gonna say any names, but there's a lot of big producers. When I hear them play their beats and they're just sitting there not nodding to it, I'm like, the beats hot. Did they really make it? I don't understand it. Like,
Yo, and then like keep in mind too, man, like the format's gonna be different how they judging the beats this year. Like it's not gonna be judges sitting up there with very well trained ears and like it's the crowd. We're going
this
off
is to
reaction.
boost your ego.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
producers, this is to boost your ego so you can have confidence to make flyer shit. That's what a beat battle like this, that what Battle of the Beatmakers has to bring you. That's the core element. This is your time to feel yourself and have the crowd give you that instant gratification.
Facts.
You have to create the mood. If you're not creating the mood to make people react, you have to become the mood master when it comes to this. The timing with everything that you drop on when you drop it has to make the mood do what it does.
Yo.
So if you want me to sleep, do what you're doing. You want me to wake up, do what you're doing.
Got MIDI
MIDI
Monsters.
Monsters.
Out of Texas. Monsters.
Yo, look. Even though there was a little bit going on that verse part, I call it the
Hard.
verse part. That part was sweet. That was essential to your performance for this beat.
Yeah.
If you never brought in that source, that verse part, that section where, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, me on my picky shit, it was a little busy. But in regards to people in the crowd, they'll get the point. And that's what I fuck with. They got the point with that. You know what I mean? I gotta be asking. But like at the same time, 100% that one. Welcome to Toronto.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was a big tune. Big tune.
Yeah.
All right, why not us?
What the hell?
Wait, blasphemy that. Wait.
Why not in this battle?
Yo, first off, before we get into why not us.
Let's go.
All right, cool. Hold on. All right.
That's why not. This is us.
Man, try to slide one in there.
Yeah, that was hitting. That was hitting, and I think listening to the skills of that producer, I'm pretty certain they have a bunch more beats in their bag that are battle ready. So I'm like, I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Dope. All right, let's go on to produced by Cam. Next up from Houston.
So with that beat is definitely a vibe, but I still feel dynamically it was very shy.
Yeah,
like in regards to going to bringing a dope beat like that into a beat battle, it might get ate off of some other beat coming with characteristics.
It'll get yammed.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yo, it was a dope.
But it's still a dope beat. At the end of the day, and so so definitely at the end of the day, it's I feel. And I feel like it will be a bigger track.
And I could hear the professionalism in like the way it's assembled. Like even though at first I thought he missed the pocket to drop his drums, when he brought them in, I was content.
So even
like,
add on to what
4 bars instead of 8 bars. if you're gonna try this, if you're gonna try it for a beat battle, cut your arrangement from the regular 8 bars, 16 bars to 4 bars.
To 4, exactly.
So we get in there and we feel out whatever. Because with this, that might work better if you cut the arrangement shorter.
So when it came in, I wasn't mad though. I was like,
Yeah, the drum slapped.
Yeah.
All right, next up, King KVO from Memphis.
Like when it started, I thought it was gonna go somewhere crazy, and then it just was a clash of percussion and strings, and it's like all the sounds are playing at one time.
Yeah, I think I could use the term again. I think I can use the term again that I haven't found an acronym for. Look what I can do syndrome. I think that was another one of those. Like, we're hearing what you can do musically, which is dope. But it's about complimenting what you can do musically. So showing all your cool shit. It's like what the Bradley say out there? Oh, busting your load, like before I'm saying, like you're throwing all the elements out too quick, like and not in a tasteful way. So I'd say like even with there's a lot going on, there was a lot of good elements going on. It's just that you had all of them going on, like, and that's why I say it was a look what I can do syndrome situation. Once again, if you can take all those dope elements and like space them on the beat, it'll be fine.
Go. Yeah. All right, 9 to 5 from Texas.
Beat battles, doesn't beat battles, bro.
You know what's crazy about that beat? Thing about that beat is that one part that we just heard right now, someone's gonna sample that and make a banger out of it. Now, second with that beat, the first thing I heard with it is that, and for the producer, I'll even put myself out there. I heard that and it sounded like the intro of a Mr. Marcus porn, a Blue Eyes.
Yo.
It sounded like Mr. Marcus is about to go in with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that sounded. It sounded like a Blue Eyes tune scene. Like, so I'm listening to it. I'm like, Mr. Marcus,
My
the
dude
overall
said
about to go and
Mr.
tear up
Marcus.
something.
If you
Yo,
know
that's
Mr.
old
Marcus,
School shit.
That's 80s
Old
shit.
school shit.
That's
like when the OG
blues.
show you want watch this shit, you gonna watch this shit. Like no, like, yeah, that's what that sounded like. It took me back to.
Yeah,
Yo, it was very. I'm guessing this name should say musical.
name
Or
that dick.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mr. Marcus.
But it really
shit, this shit was very.
I'm like, wait, I saw this movie before. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I said
no,
blues movie. No, it was very
So, like,
musical, man. But it just lacked everything else.
like I said, like get that, yeah. To add on to what you're saying, like there was a lot of cool elements in it too. It's just that the way they replaced the sonic presence of it gave it a
I
vibe
wouldn't
that
sample
wouldn't
that.
might
For
not.
me personally, I thought that was really to think about it on another side. That's a cheesy sample. If I have other sounds to choose from,
I'm talking about
to
the end of the
sample?
beat where no drums were, where that other part. It's like, all right, yeah, that whole Final Fantasy thing going on. Like that's the first thing that popped in my mind after all the blue was. I'm like, oh, that sounds like Final Fantasy at the end.
This guy said that blue.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're in the town right now. We're in the town right now. We're in the town right now. I'm not gonna yankify my language.
No,
It's you know what I'm saying, I'm not yankifying my language. Blue us. Soak it in.
Pause. He said
Hey, blue eyes.
Blue soak it in. Pause.
Museo Productions,
What's soak? Where I soak?
Brooklyn, USA.
Is it?
Where I soak?
Was it?
Museo
Production.
Personal preference, I like this.
Wow.
I just
don't.
think for this, nah, it's not gonna work for this competition. I like what's going. I like certain things that are happening in it though, but I just feel like for this
Things are
format, it's not
happening.
gonna
I
work.
love the
And
thing, but that's not the one.
I have to take that into consideration, man. So
I would suggest that you pull some of those elements out and have them interweaving with each other rather than it's pretty similar to what Mel said just before. It's like you have all these elements on top of each other, and because they are on each other, they're messing with that head nod test too. So it's like give things their space and give things their the ability to move. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on.
They
at the
let
same
it
time.
breathe.
It's
Let
yammable
some
in
of
this
the elements
conference.
breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's yammable though.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like you'll get yammed with that in here.
Yeah.
All right, Haram Beats,
Haram from Bram.
Algeria.
Safe as hell.
Oh, I want to hear what else he has. I mean, I want to assume that the sample that he uses Algerian. I don't know.
Safe as hell.
Like, it's a fusion.
I would say, yeah. I would say it was very, yeah.
It's gonna be safe.
It's very safe. It's like
the arrangement,
safe.
the arrangement fits all that, but I would
Arrangement,
like to
yeah.
have seen you really,
spike the punch.
yeah, just a
Yeah.
to give me 1 second, 3 seconds of something that's a little bit different than the average of
Aight.
what that is. That's in the pocket of a standard arrangement of
I'm
what
with you.
that stuff sounds like.
I'm with
So you got that down right, but sometimes you got to push yourself just to flick yourself a little bit over what everybody else is doing to stand out.
Indeed.
Definitely.
Give me green shoelaces. Okay.
All right.
I concur.
Heading to LA with Nandy Flips up next.
Nandy.
I feel like there was gonna be even more coming in too.
Yeah, they kept it short and sweet.
Yeah.
And busy as hell.
I also just for the vibe, that one had kind of a cinematic vibe to me. It's like in a movie where the nerd kid gets his first kiss.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Straight up.
Like some Miri's playlist, whatever that damn movie
Yeah.
is.
Placements.
It was well done. It was well done. But I don't think you will bun fire in a beat battle.
But there's a place for it though. That's a good thing though. There's a place for it for this beat battle, not quite, but there's a place for it.
Synchronization, fam.
Yes, sir. Always, like I'll reiterate it again. It's always a good thing. They deal with you better than regular record labels.
You too as well, bro.
All right.
Right.
Harley Lara from Nicaragua.
He's bouncing.
With
Thank you.
there was a lot going on musically, and if you're gonna go that route, it's something even I try to practice and master my damn self. But making the drums be the border of your portrait, and there was a lot of musicality going on with what they were doing with the synths and on the pianos, just that whole Hispanic vibe. But at the same time, it was kind of taking the character, it was taking the attention away from the drums itself. So you could have had like the drums not even in the beat, and it still would have gave me all I'm hearing is just the melodies that you laid. So definitely try to keep a balance with the sonic and dynamicness of the drums if you're gonna add so much instrumentation in a short period of time.
Tonally, there was something off there too. I couldn't quite catch what it was.
Mix.
I don't know if it was just a mix or was it? I
Mix,
feel like
and
it
it
might have
was-
been a key.
I would say,
Filtering
yeah,
would have helped
yeah.
you like
Yeah.
a lot. Filtering would have helped you a lot and still make
Agreed.
it edgier and make it work. So yeah, sometimes over musicality is gonna make you kind of corny. You know, it's just too much happening and there's no edge to it. It's just like, okay, I had the pianos and all that stuff that you're wishing to have in there, but it's not really gelling with any kind of an edge. It's
And
just
man, like
a
I
bunch
said,
of
that
sounds.
look what I can do thing
Yeah.
that a lot of people are falling victim to. We can't do it anymore. It's like nowadays because the attention span is so short and the gratification is the instant gratification so high. You gotta be able to just get to the point. It is what it is. Y'all are in that generation, the future, where it's not about people feeling it out. It's about if you want to get what you want, get to the point. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
All right. So on to Terrestrial Alien out of LA.
Safe.
I don't even know if that's even safe.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
It's
It's at a point where I'll say this. You did, I guess, a lot of what
Is
a
that
lot
your
of
name,
producers.
B52?
That's terrestrial alien. That was.
That's
No,
terrestrial
no, someone's
alien.
asking if they beat played. Sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
They're gonna have to
Yeah,
wheel
it
the
was
stream.
it was a little too like it was safe, but
I get
it
what you're
didn't give me the it factor when I heard it. And though they did go into all the elements that are popping right now, it didn't totalize into like something where it's like, all right, this is the top of top, or this is something potential out of what can compete with folks that have super low attention span.
Yeah, it's not memorable for sure. Like, it's one of
Because
those
like
ones where
we
you
leave here sometimes. Like I know for me, I'll leave here
gotta
some of
stand
these beat pre-screenings, and I'll remember like something will resonate. Like, oh, that producer had a sick bass line because that's still in my head. Or this the way this producer did this. All right, yeah, cool. And then you know what I'm saying, always think about trying to leave with something for people to remember you by what you did. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too much talent out there for people to be overshadowed. So leave a trademark. You know what I'm saying?
Don't. All right, Tahiti, Texas, representing.
Oh, my sample.
You catch a nigga off guard.
Yeah, fuck this up. They better fuck this sample up. You better fuck this sample up, eh? This is my shit. All right.
and it's Dasher.
Okay, you know what? After the beat battle, I'm gonna put this sample and show you how it's done. I'm gonna listen to this one. There might be something that jumps out. I don't know, but I think you gotta come with it with this sample.
You have a good number in when you play. So you did play already, bro.
So you did, right?
So you got a good number, B52. You played you already, but you got a good number. You got a good score from me and you. B52.
Like the plane or whatever it's called.
But he got a good number.
I understand like the melodic feel
You
of
got a high score
riding
from him and he got a high score.
Texas music.
So you did
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, bring it back. Yeah, I understand the melodic feel of riding Texas music, but like after the sample played out for the first two bars, like everything else was underwhelming to me. Like I think you should just focus on bringing in elements that complement the sample, because once again, like you had peak interest like with Millennius, like that had touched with him, and I'm pretty sure like not too familiar with the sample, but I just know the elements surrounding it did not complement it at all. So you gotta focus on that.
Dope. All right, let's move it on to Mental House, Arizona, USA.
There you go, Mental House. Mental House is on live right now, so hey.
Is he?
Yep.
Salute, bro.
Volume thing is here.
Drop that bitch.
Okay.
Man, drop that shit for these fuck niggas.
All right. Well,
The way that was
big up
feeding in was-
terrestrial. But there wasn't really anything that was really, I know for me, really like attracted me to what you were doing. It seemed really safe.
You talking
the
about
point.
terrestrial? Because we're
No,
past that.
Mental House. It's a
Sorry,
Mental
my
House,
bad.
man.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, sorry, mental house. My bad. So mental house. Yeah, there's like, it seemed way too safe to the point where it's like there's plenty of beats that will probably like take that out of. So I was out of commission. So I would say definitely add more switch ups, add more change ups. other than that, that seems too down the. There's too many of those kind of beats.
I wish I could sonically hear that again a little bit more than how we heard it. You know what I mean? So other than that, yeah, it is what it is.
All right, Kingos out of Brooklyn. Let's go.
It's Yamable, boy.
That's Guanin.
I'm saying it's Nyam. Yeah, with the N. It's Nyamable, but like it's a vibe though. Also, man, like it's got. It's depth. Yeah, exactly. Timing's perfect, and I feel like the production as well. Like as far as like sonically, the way it sounds is like full. But I just don't think it'll work on this platform. That's my only takeaway from it. It's a vibe though. Like you should definitely find a placement for it.
Yeah. Placement. It could work as a record for sure. It's a hard beat. I think it's hard. Yeah. It's just. Yeah.
All right, DJ Red Jacket out of Texas.
You blood? say is these three words.
Yo, bro.
That shit was completely expunged from my mind, bro.
So the clue in what Turu was talking about. So the clue in what Turu was talking about, I think we might have some fun in memory of, but we're gonna do it starring Why Not. But we're gonna get to that after. We're gonna get to that after. So let's, you know what I'm saying? So let's have fun with, let's celebrate these producers, but we're gonna celebrate producers because we're all we got.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So salute Why Not, salute Turu, salute motherfucking
Salute
Gigs.
you.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm saying? Even salute my nigga Tona. And I'm gonna put him on the spot right now. Tona versus Tone. 2020.
Get it, bro.
I'm gonna make him sign up for that because right now I'm forcing myself to be very, very inspired right now because we're losing amazing people. And so I'm gonna call it right now because I lost a spirit animal again this year, and I think a lot of us lost a spirit animal. And rest in peace to that man and his and big up his family every day, all day. So I'm gonna live my life having fun. I want all y'all to do it as well.
Absolutely.
And all the producers that are bringing in their beats, we're gonna be hard on y'all so y'all can be amazing at the end. So thank us later. Done.
Well said, man.
All right, Young Sunflower out of Ohio.
I'm chasing my dreams.
ice cream truck come down my block.
Hey.
Yeah.
Mom, can I have some money?
Yeah.
Ice cream man is coming.
Yo, that would have been a hard sample to drop in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
or
Yo,
something
everybody
like
would-
that. That would have bodied the block.
Everybody Millie rocking to that ice cream truck.
I can't lie. I want a Millie Rock truck to the ice cream truck still.
Is that martial arts? No, it's Millie.
All right. Connell Shaw out of Ireland.
I like her video camera. Give us something else too. Hey. Oh, it's lit. I like it.
Yo, this could be a hard.
I'm saying.
Blast
Potential in
record,
this
dog.
shit. Wait till it's done.
Spacing is nice.
Yeah.
Good breathing.
I really know what to say with this one.
Nothing.
You want to
Good
go
job.
first? Or
Good job. Good job.
okay,
Good
okay,
job.
yeah,
Good
this.
Beautiful beat.
I'll be honest with you. Even more than the beat battle to this producer, that is a really hot record. If you get a Bryson out of
Bryson
his
Tiller,
fucking
yeah.
basement
Absolutely.
and say Mayut, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a really good beat for that. And for the beat battle, there might be some cats in the crowd that don't get the potential in that beat. So don't let that take away from what you have in that. This beat is there's potential as us as creatives, as producers. We're sitting here for a reason. There's potential in that one. For the beat battle, you might have some problems. But for
I don't know if
no, I
they'd
don't
have
think so.
problems.
you think the
think
wavy
that-
them will
had
catch
a-
it?
had a good
That's
one,
what I'm
yeah.
saying,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I
Wavy was the
personally
wave
like
right
this
now.
beat.
That was
So
the best wavy beats we've
okay,
had
cool.
so far.
Okay,
Because
cool.
that
So
Wavy's
that
gonna-
thanks for
take-
checking me because
Yeah.
I'm saying like with
Yeah,
this
that
was
beat, I
hard.
really feel it.
Yeah.
The
I just
arrangement was
I
nice.
was like I don't know if I didn't know that people might understand it in a beat battle, but the potential in this beat
Yeah.
is I love this lane. So
This-
that's probably what it
Spaciness
is
and
with
the
me.
arrangement was
Some-
right
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
point.
what Millennials is saying is
Definitely.
key because in a regular beat battle,
Yeah.
you've got your three judges up there that will hear that and be like, all right, this got movement, and that could take you over a bang bang
Yeah.
crazy switch up just because the
Definitely.
judges are. But with the move the
Yeah.
crowd, that might be a different story. So,
So,
that's
so
a
as
point.
all
That's
of
a
us
point.
here
But
sitting here
with
telling
that
that
mix in the
yeah.
opera house.
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah.
bass
Yeah.
rumbling and the drums smacking
That-
in the
I
opera
know,
house.
it get me.
you would
So that's
yell.
what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
to this producer and producers that are that produce along this line, keep going with this vibe.
Ireland.
And I can't lie, I'm happy to say that Toronto owns this sound.
Yes,
that
it is.
sound,
Nah,
that direction.
facts,
That's
facts.
us.
And he's
That's
from
Windsor,
Ireland.
That's us.
It is.
So I
So
say
he knows
keep
his
it
audience because he's from Ireland.
Exact-
So
yeah, but that's a Toronto sound. That's us. So end of the day, to that producer, yo, big up Ireland. You guys do what you do. The producer do what you do. That there's potential in that beat for the
Shout
beat
out
battle.
Gadget.
It might be questionable unless we get enough wave riders. Like I said, there's the head nodders and the wave riders, and that's a wave rider banger.
I think he has slappers.
Yeah.
And I want to hear
Yeah,
more of
so
this.
why-
I want to
yeah,
I want to hear more from you.
we're gonna
so,
hear the break.
yeah.
But
Wanna
yeah,
hear
let's
more
move it
from
on
you.
to Money Mark to round out the 32 episode 7, Brooklyn.
Shout out Gadget.
Big up Gadget.
Sound.
Big up Gadget all day.
That'll do good on this platform.
Like the drum work.
I do love the
Sounds
drum
complete,
work.
man. Sounds complete.
My only critique is I wish you would have let the drums breathe a little bit more at some points, and then bring back in like the heavy. I wanted to hear some points, just even like a 4 bars where that drum just would just breathe a bit.
There was a lot of fills.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. And you gotta watch. You gotta watch your fills, cause so if your fills get sloppy, that could fuck you too. So excuse my language, but yeah. So other than that, that was hot. But yeah, just watch your fills, cause when you said that, I'm like, yeah, cause there's one point I was like, that was a little sloppy, but it still cut it through, right?
Yeah.
So,
It has the energy.
yeah, definitely.
good job.
All right, so that was another 32.
Good
Episode 7, Battle of the Beatmakers, Move the Crowd edition. It's getting tight now. It looks like there's going to be some crowd names that we want to make it through that might not make it, just with the heavy hitters coming towards the end. But March 21st at the Opera House, we'll have those 32 in the house. Tickets on sale next week, battleofthebeatmakers.com. Link us if you got anything to say. Hit us up at battleofthebeatmakers.com. We'll be back with episode 8 for the last 32.
Yeah.
Let's do 5. 5, tight 5.
Yeah.
Tight 5.